Oh no, there we go.
There we go.
Hey, how we doing? This is Rich. I'm here with James Tynion.
Yep.
Nailed it. And we're here doing a signing for Scott's Collectables. Dan Scott, all these wonderful customers, retailers sent in their books. They're all getting done right now. And we're just going to chat for a couple minutes with James real quick, just to talk about a few things. James, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm glad this is the most comics I think I've signed in in about a year.
Since
or not a
the end
year,
of the world.
like during this year. This is definitely yeah, but it's good. It's I'm stretching muscles that I haven't stretched in a little while.
Me too. I carried these boxes up. They were. I went by Cass over here. She was like, "How many stairs?" So just to check in with you real quick, because I haven't really had a chance to talk to you since like 86 million years ago, when the world ended.
Yeah.
Punchline.
Oh yeah,
that's a thing.
Yeah. No, it is work. Creating Punchline with Jorge Jimenez has been one of the most exciting aspects of this entire year. It's one of those things where going all the way back to all the seeds were planted back in December of last year. Mm-hmm. And I remember sitting in the office of Ben Abernathy in the DC Comics offices. He's the Batman Group editor, and we were just and I had known that for a little while at that point that I was going to try to create a new number 2 character for the Joker. And it was while I was in the office that we got the design in from Jorge Jimenez, and that was one of the first things that he had done since he had signed on to the book, because he was still finishing up Justice League at the time. So he wasn't doing pages yet, but he could do these designs, and we were both just floored by that design. And I knew that this was a character who was like, okay, this is a character that's gonna have some heat. We're gonna and we're gonna have as much fun with her as we can.
Yeah. So response was just unreal. Did you feel like this was a character that was gonna get as crazy and as big as it was going to get, or were you even a little surprised by it?
I was incredibly surprised. It was the fact that with only the design release, we were getting cosplayers and fan art within the first 3 days of that design being out there.
Wow.
And that was that's always the thing. That was the thing that back when Something is Killing the Children came out, it was seeing that people were already drawing Erica Slaughter, and not only just the fans, but also just artists who were just excited by the design and just wanting to play with it a little bit. And so it was seeing that building up, and and then there was the tremendous response to her first couple of appearances, and that really opened things up.
Yeah.
Where it was just okay, Erica Slaughter taught me that there is a real hunger for new characters, and in the independent space. And Punchline taught me that there's a real hunger for new characters in the big 2 space, in superhero comics.
Right.
And so I mean, there were characters that were sort of written into outlines and everything. I had this idea. For a character called Clown Hunter that was originally going to appear in the aftermath of what is now Joker War. And I realized, no, he needs to appear in Joker War. Yep. I need to bring everything forward, and I need to, really, people are excited, and I don't want to lose that excitement. So that, that's really where it all started.
Right. So really, your only exposure to the fans' response to thing outside social media was C2E2 before quarantine and everything.
Yeah.
So when Batman '92 is coming out, everything's getting delayed and stuff like that. You're probably sitting there oh my god, there goes all my momentum.
Yeah. No, that was really scary. I mean, for a lot of reasons. This year has been a lot, and. And it was one of those things where we had all of this excitement, and we had the Art Germ cover for Batman '92, which is just an absolutely gorgeous cover. Here it is right here.
Yep.
And it was just that was going to come out in 2 weeks, and then they announced that comics was pause.
Everything's stopping.
Like that was, I was definitely worried because I had already known, like, oh, the sales on that issue are real high, and it's just like, oh boy,
right?
What's this going to happen? And then when we came back, the sales were actually higher on issue 92 with its second FOC than on its first, and that was just like, okay, we are going to survive this. And then sales on the main Batman title have continued climbing up, and that. I think, I'm not sure what the exact numbers are released, but I heard that.
I heard a lot.
I have effectively doubled the sales on Batman between my first issue and the start of Joker War.
Wow.
And that is really exciting.
That is exciting. Were you always a Batman fan?
Oh yeah. No, I ever since growing up, Batman has been one of my favorite corners in all of fiction.
What was your first exposure to Batman? Was it a comic? Was it the TV show? Was it Out West? Which was
it would have been it would have been Batman Returns, which came out when I was 4 years old, and so it was. I was definitely too young to see it because it is a messed up movie, and I love it. And it was just like. So it both kind of spawned my love of, all things Tim Burton, but also all things Batman. And then shortly thereafter was the Batman animated series, which I started, absorbing.
Show's perfect.
And then as I got older and things shifted over into the Batman Beyond, which is just one of the coolest things ever done with the Batman property.
It really is. That was such a cool, unique thing,
And it's so strange to think now, just the fact that it had no predecessor in the comics, none of this is just it was created from whole cloth, just taking the raw essence of Batman and just doing something new and different with it. And honestly, there's a bit of that spirit in what I'm trying to do in my Batman run now, where it's just we live in an age where not only are there every comic that has ever existed is available to you right now. On, whether you go to your local comic shop or in Comixology or what have you, you can get any comic that has ever been made. So you're not just competing against and then on top of that, DC Comics is doing 1 million movies, 1 million TV shows with all their own versions of Batman. And on top of that, you not only have the core Batman line, you also have Black Label books doing things you've got 3 Jokers, you've got, Batman Last Night on Earth. You have all of these different iterations of Batman happening all at the same time. And it means that they're, to get attention on that main Batman title,
right?
You have to kind of think outside the box, and you have to offer something new, because if you're just offering something that people have seen 1 million times before, why are they going to pick up your book over the thing that they can just pull off the shelf?
Absolutely. And it's tough because Batman's done so much, so to keep it fresh is really, that's the challenge.
Oh yeah, no, and that's always been
is Batman the hardest character to write?
Honestly, no. I find Batman is, and part of it is I've been doing it for 8 years now, so it's my first.
You know what the deal is with Batman at this point.
It was intimidating to start. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But it is, it's honestly been an absolute thrill.
Yeah.
And I still love writing Batman, and it comes very naturally to me now, which I'm grateful for, because I definitely had to work for it at the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. Now, just before we move away from Batman real quick, did you watch DC Fandom, right?
I did.
What'd you think of that Batman trailer?
I really, really enjoyed it. Honestly, it is, I remember right after Batman, after The Dark Knight came out, and everyone was sort of what could a third Nolan Batman be?
Right.
And I always wanted there to be I basically wanted them to do the Riddler, but in the style of Seven.
Yep.
And it seems like now I'm getting that movie.
You are getting that movie for sure.
I am. I'm very excited for it. And actually, I have a connection to that movie that's really surprising, because it's been in the works for so long. But the movie based on Memetic, a comic book I did a number of years ago, which is through Seth Rogen's production studio. They're making it.
Mm-hmm.
And the screenplay is actually written by Mattson Tomlin, who is the writer of the upcoming Batman movie. So it's one of those things where it's just like when they announced me on Batman and they announced him on Batman very close together, and it's like we had been working on Memetic in one way or another for like the last year and a half, 2 years. So it's just like it's funny that it's like while working on a weird sloth horror movie that both of us got at our shot at the
both got Batman games out of it.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
It's really cool, and I'm just really and I've chatted with Mattson a few times, but he's tight-lipped about what's coming up in the movie, so I don't know anything that you guys don't.
You don't know anything.
No secrets.
Definitely know something, but we're not going to ask you. Off camera, I'm going to ask you. But outside of that, you got a couple of other independent things. Well, first you got Something's Killing Children. And you said the numbers for issue 11 are pretty nice, right?
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where the last few issues, it's been climbing ever since we came back from. Keep referring to it as coming back from break, which is like feels like we were off on school vacation,
extended vacation.
But ever since comics started coming out regularly again, every issue of Something is Killing the Children, and really what it lines up with, the first week that Batman came back was the wide release of the Something is Killing the Children Volume 1 trade, and then the start of a new Something is Killing the Children arc. And all of those things sort of came together that now every single issue, the sales are topping the previous issue. Like I was chatting and, knock on wood, but we heard that the sales on issue 11 might even top issue number 1, which would be absolutely incredible.
Doesn't happen often.
No. And it's just incredibly exciting.
Yep.
It is a really, really cool feeling.
You'll be getting shows out of that.
I have fingers crossed. There may or may not be some conversations happening that I am not at liberty to discuss, but it has been it's been really exciting, and especially in a year that's been so rough on so many levels. The fact that people are still responding to just the crazy ideas that I put out there is really validating and reassuring. So I thank all of you.
Definitely. Now, outside, you're also trying self-publishing now.
Yes.
What's up with that?
So I started a horror anthology magazine called Razor Blades, and we did a limited print run because originally the idea was this was going to be primarily a digital artifact. It was something that we were just going to release online, pay what you want. It was something that we cooked up on, as a sort of quarantine project. It's almost an excuse because, like, a lot of times, conventions are sometimes the only times I get to see my friends in the comics business. So it was an excuse to keep working with all the friends that I wasn't going to get to see this summer. So me and Steve Fox, we created the Razor Blades, and we started putting all the pieces together. And as we started reaching towards the release date, I was like, all right, let's game out what would it cost to do a limited print run of this. And the print run, it sold out in 45 minutes. And it was like a big success. And that immediately told us that, okay, this is a print project moving forward. It will always have the digital component. You will always be able to buy it on readrazorblades.com, pay what you want for it. But we are going to start expanding the print operation. There's going to be a lot more news from that, probably sometime in September. And then, obviously October is the big horror month. So we are going to be pushing it very, very hard on that. So, yeah. That's
awesome. And you got another image book coming out.
I do.
What's up with that one?
Tell me. The Department of Truth is my new series. It's a story in which all conspiracy theories are true or have the potential to be true, and it is it's set in a world where basically the more someone believes in something, the more real it becomes.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, and every single issue is going to deal with a different conspiracy theory We're going to see the Department of Truth, but I'm not just digging into like the classic conspiracy theories. It's not just all like Illuminati and
Sure.
all of that. We're going after the stuff that's a bit more relevant to today. So my first issue deals with flat earthers, which is like a shockingly growing movement.
Shockingly.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and issue 2 deals a bit with the satanic panic of the 1980s and how that reflects some stuff going on today. The third issue deals with sort of crisis actors and false flag stuff, and it's playing into, and it goes into like it's a conspiracy thriller. It's a book that goes into some dark, scary places. Like, and to be clear, we're not taking light some of the serious subjects that we're playing with. Like,
sure.
we're playing with knowing that how serious they are and how they affect people's lives. And honestly, it's one of my favorite things I've ever written. It's the hardest book I've ever written, and this is my first image book. Like, pretty much all my creator-owned before now has been through Boom Studios.
Mm-hmm.
I love Boom Studios. I still have work coming up through Boom Studios, but Image is such a special entity in terms of what it means for creator-owned comics.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just an honor to have a book with that little eye on it.
Yeah, definitely.
And something that, it's something I've been wanting for a very long time. So
it's a great plot too. I'm really excited for that.
I like
that it's like more contemporary, like theories too. You know what I mean? It's not just the who shot JFK conspiracy theory.
Right. Although that's definitely part of it.
Oh, it definitely is. But no, that's great. But yeah, we just wanted to jump on and talk with you guys for a little bit, give you a little update on James, and just because Dan Scott put together this nice signing for you, which apparently we might be doing another one.
Yeah, we're having some conversations, so stay tuned.
Conversations always happening. So we just want to check in with you guys, say hi and everything like that. We couldn't see a chat if you guys are chatting in here. So if you did, James says hi. I don't, because you came to see him. And yeah, we're going to get back to it, and we'll talk to you guys maybe in October.
We'll see.
Nice. All right. Talk to you